Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and I want to say Shalom to Aknakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one is going to be titled something along the lines of the Lord is taking out these social media personalities or these influencers or something like that. Probably these social media or personalities, right? Because not all of them are what they would consider influencers, but at least two of them are. All right, this guy is, just a regular old comedian. But, I was going through regular, thinking about making a regular judgment report. And as I was going through the list of the YouTube, because I'll type in dead or killed. That's the way I do it now. And most of the times, I haven't gone to the Google News and done it that way in a minute. Because I find it more edifying if you have the videos. But I was doing that, and I saw a pattern, right? Comedian dead, TikToker dead, TikToker dead, right? Hulk Hogan dead, right? Cause of death, they released his cause of death. That's why he was in it, because he's been dead for about a month now, I guess. Same with Ozzy. But they released Hulk Hogan's cause of death. Heart attack, all right, is what it was. So definitely not a natural way to go. All right, so he was definitely taken out. He was old anyway. Ozzy was old. I still wish they would release Ozzy's death, because there was rumors, I guess, that he said if his illness ever got too bad, he was just gonna basically, clock out, right? And I wonder if he did that. If that's the case, the family will probably never release it, which I get. But just curious. But a lot of social media presence, all right, people, okay, or I don't know. I'll have to think on the word, but a lot of people, a lot of public figures or famous quote unquote people have been dying in 2025 a lot. And we got more, and these guys, none of these three guys are people that I know specifically, but I don't know everybody in the world. There's people that I watch that you guys don't know about, and there's things that you guys watch that I don't know about. So I'm not familiar with this guy, Reggie Carroll. I guess, right here it says Cat Williams associate shoots and kills Cat's friend. So I guess he's friends with Cat Williams. That's all I can really tell you about it. And then we got TikToker Malik Taylor. All right. He's dead as well. I'm not sure how. And then we got John Crowley, TikTok's King Beard X, dead at 47. So younger guys for the most part. 52, still, relatively young. It's not, it's not super young. It's not old either. It's pretty much just, middle ground. Okay, you ain't super old. You're 52. That ain't that really old at all. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these clips. All right, we're gonna grab some scriptures, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying. So let's go ahead and play this one first. Let's see what all went down. I'll go ahead and full screen it for you. Let me turn this volume up. So here we go. Of course, we have the right to fair use. All right, here in America, at least allegedly, right? So I don't make any money off these clips. I don't monetize my channel. This is all just for religious instruction, edification, and commentary, which is allowed, all right, under the Fair Use Act. So without any further ado, here we go.
Hey, y'all know that having sex with 3 people is called the threesome, right? So having sex with 4 people is called the foursome. It's quite certain why they call me handsome.
Comedian Reggie Carroll has died. He was 52 years old.
Shit wasn't even funny. That was just corny as hell.
According to police, Reggie was killed in a shooting on August 20th in Mississippi. He was reportedly on tour with Cat Williams at the time. Officers say Trinell Williams was arrested and charged with Reggie's murder. He also is reportedly working on the tour as security. He's yet to enter a plea, and Cat Williams has not commented on the shooting or Reggie's death.
Please welcome stand-up comedian Reggie Carroll.
Reggie was best known for his stand-up. He appeared on season 14 of Showtime at the Apollo.
I was over this girl house one day, right? Dirty girl, right? I'm sitting in the living room. She got clothes all in the living room. I go like in the kitchen, she got dishes piled all up in the sink. I go in the bathroom, she got a ring around the tub. Then when I get in the bed, she told me something, talk dirty to me, Reggie, talk dirty. I said, your kitchen, the living room.
He also produced and hosted the Knockout Kings of Comedy special in 2023.
You knock y'all out. You knock y'all with punchline, punchline, punchline. You have to turn. Give me some.
Fellow comedian Monique paying tribute to Reggie on her Instagram stories, saying the last time she saw him, they had an amazing time, and she has no sad tears remembering their time together on the road and touring together.
How everybody doing together? We doing fun.
There you go, man. Lord's taking these people out. Let's read some of the comments. Says, so sad that someone there to protect you is the one that kills you. It says, damn, that's messed up to be taken out by your security. So sad. Please stop shooting one another, America. May he rest in peace. Never heard of him, but that's terrible. So, you know, you see it. Lots of, what is that? It's Michael Jackson. What about Buster Keaton? I don't know. He's talking about Buster Keaton and all that shit. But, you see it, man. But hey, you know, look right there. Boom. I'm glad I scrolled down a little bit more. More celebrities passed away. All right, maybe that'll be the word I'll use. Celebrities. All right, the Lord is taking out these celebrities. Something along those lines. All right. So, hey, man, look, anybody can get it, but these people that are in the limelight right now, we're seeing it. We're seeing it. These people are getting shooting. Taken out. Now, you know, for one reason or another, we don't know. This guy doesn't seem like a gangbanger. All right. But to be in that scene, they've all had to do a little something. They're all not living right. All right. None of them, all right, are, you know, calling on the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And even if they were, then they're not doing it right because they're still in those lifestyles, man. You got to leave that stuff behind. All right. You got to put off that old man and put on the new. Okay. You got to focus on not your career and not your stand-up special. You got to focus on, you know, the Lord, okay? And that's not to say if, you know, you're a small-time guy, here it is, you know, you're in this truth, all right? You do all that, and I don't know, you go to a stand-up night or something, and you go on the stage. It's not to say you're wicked, right? But it definitely shouldn't be your first priority, all right? And definitely depending on the stuff you're joking about, because a lot of those things that people joke about are wicked as hell. All right, talk about adultery or some crazy shit, right? But just because you go and do comedy doesn't make you wicked. It's the you know, not being in this truth. All right, not being repentant, right? Not putting off that old man, not putting on the new man. All right, still being that same old in the world person and never coming out of that darkness. That's what leads to your death, man. And we can get Matthew 12:30, and it says, he that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. So a lot of these people say, well, no, he wasn't doing this or that. Well, look, the fact of the matter is that if you're not with the Lord, okay, you're automatically against him, okay? And we're not talking about being down with God and Jesus and Allah and Buddha and all these false gods. We're talking about, now you'll see the name Jesus and God in the Bible, okay? But those names are not the accurate names, okay? Those are not the accurate names. When you go back to those names in Hebrew, all right, this Bible, all right, is a Hebrew book. It was written in Hebrew, all right, in the New Testament in Greek. So when you're getting words like this in English, it wasn't originally in English, okay? It wasn't originally in English, so you got to go and get the original languages, man. You gotta go and get the Hebrew. You gotta go and get the Greek, all right? Because they're gonna reveal things that the English would not, because, you know, they changed a lot of things around that time. Okay? So, I mean, notably, you know, the KJV 1611, all right, there was still stuff changing that. That was the first English translation, and that didn't have Jesus in it, but it had Jesus in it, and Jesus is not the name, right? So you got to go to the Hebrew. You got to go to the Hebrew. If you go and look it up and you just type in Jesus, all right, of course it's going to be in the New Testament, but you can go and get John 13:23, all right? So we can type in John 13, all right? We'll go and get 33 or 21. It says it right here. So bear with me. Bear with me 1 minute. All right, sock you. So John 13 and 21. So here it is, how it would look originally. Now we're looking for this word right here. Okay, Jesus. Okay, now you're gonna see it goes back to Jesus. Okay, Jesus. That's what it goes back to in the Greek. All right, is Jesus. Okay, and you can see it's talking about Jesus. All right, the Son of Yahweh. All right, the Son of God. All right, but that's what it's talking about. All right, as you would say, it's the God. All right, God's not the name either. Now you can see it's of the Hebrew origin. This word, Jesus. All right, Jesus. It has a Hebrew origin. Why does it have a Hebrew origin? Because he is Hebrew. All right, the Son. All right, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, as we're about to prove. Okay, so this is how it is in Hebrew. All right. It is read right to left, not left to right, as the Apostle Gabar has said before. I've heard him say it. You know, this society, everything's done wickedly, all right, on the left hand. All right, so that's why everything's on the left. All right, now right, all right, the right side is the righteous side. The left is you know, wickedness. That's why we read left to right. Right to left makes more sense. And I believe in Japan, all right, with their books, they actually read their books right to left, not the text, but the books. All right, so you can see right here talking about the, you know, Yahweh Shai, all right, or Jesus, as people would say. All right, another word would be Jehovah, all right, or some people say Jehovah, all right, but you know, Jehovah or Jehovah is really referring to another, you know, not correct pronunciation of the Father's name, Yahweh. So this right here is the Son's true name. Now you'll see the bug out Jakes, they don't do their research. They just say, oh, it's Yahushua. All right, they'll say Yahushua or you know, Yahweh for the Father, right? They'll say Yahweh, or what's another one I've heard? Yahuwah, all right, Yahuwah, Yeshua, all right, Yahweh. All right, what's another one I hear? Shiloh, all right, or Shiloh, all right. Not a lot of different names that are not the correct names. Okay, this is what the name is in pure Hebrew. Okay, not messed with, not try to be transliterated or put new syllables in it. Just how it is. Okay, now you can go and get Paleo Hebrew alphabet. Okay. And you're going to have a lot of them that have, like, you know, some it's more regular Aramaic, but Paleo Hebrew is different in itself. Okay, so here's the chart. All right, that's ancient Hebrew to modern Hebrew. Okay, and you can go and just start breaking it down. What is this one? All right, so right off the bat, that one's going to be Yah. All right, you can see it. Okay, we'll zoom in. Okay, so you see it right here. I'm going to open image and new tab. Okay, so right here we have Yah. Okay, Yah. And we go to here. What is this? Ha. So Yah, Ha. What is this? Right here. All right. Wa. So already we have Yah, How, Wa. Okay. Now we got to get this, which is Sh. Okay. Sh. All right. We already know this is wa. Okay. Again. And then, of course, lastly, but not least, is, where is it? Yep. My mic was in front of it. I. Okay. Okay. Now, right off the bat, you're going to see Yahweh Shawai. All right. Yahweh Shawai. But that's not, let me get rid of this, by the way. That's not how, in proper, Hebrew grammar, it would be pronounced. Okay. So they got the syllables right. Yahushua, Yahweh Shai. They got the syllables right. Okay. But they didn't get the pronunciation right. It's Ya, Ha, Wa, Sha. All right. That gets dropped. And the WA gets dropped from that as well. Proper grammatic. So, Yahweh Shai. All right. Yahweh Shai. Okay. And it comes from two different words. All right. It comes from the word of the Father. All right. Yahweh. All right. As you can, we can prove it again, but you can see it right here. You're going to see, Slocky. You're going to see Yah, Ha, Wa, Ha. So it would be Yah, Ha, Wa, Ha. All right. But you would drop the A. All right. Incorrect spelling and pronunciation. So Yahweh. All right. So the Father's name. This is the Father's name, by the way. Yahweh. All right. And you see it means the existing one, the one that exists. All right. So if you go back, and that name was given right here. All right. You can go and get Exodus 3 and 14. You can go and see it says, and Yahweh said unto Moses, I am that I am. Well, actually, we got to read from 13 to read the context. And Moses said unto Yahweh, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the power of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Yahweh said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. I am. So he's only I to him. All right. So anybody else, it would be he. Okay. I'm not I to my wife. I'm he, because she would say, oh, he. She wouldn't say, oh, I was walking down the street. No, she's going to say he was walking down the street. All right. He said I because he is him. Right. But to other people, he would be he. So you would say he is. All right. He's only I am to himself. All right. So he is what his name is. He is. All right. To, as we would say to, to us, he is he. All right. Because we're not him. So, Slaki, I know that can be a little confusing. So it means he is. All right. And as a matter of fact, if we go back, you look at this word, I am. Slaki, I clicked the wrong button. All right. You see it. Hayah. All right. Hayah. All right. But it's pronounced Hawa. All right. Hawa. And you get the other part from it says, it talks about Jah, extolled by his name Jah. All right. It says, Psalm 68 and 4, sing unto Yahweh, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah, and rejoice before him. So a lot of people say, oh, his name is Yah. Well, hold up. All right. You got to put these two together, because he didn't say his name was Yah. He told him that his name was I am, which literally goes back to Hawa. Okay. So you have Yah, and then you have Hawa. You got to combine those. Okay. So his name right here, Yah. Okay. Yah. All right. The shortened form of Jehovah. All right. Or as they say. All right. So Yah. Yah. Hawa. Yah. Hawa. Okay. Yahweh. Okay. And if you go and look up the word God, well, it's going to give you Elohim. But it's it's not gonna select you. But you have to get it from those two parts. All right, Yahweh, Yah. All right. Used in many compounds. Okay, used in many compounds. Yahweh. All right. So there you go. And you're asking, what's the son's name then, right? Well, it'll give it to us. What does it mean? Right here. All right. So, yeah, Yahweh Shai. So you have Yahweh, which means he is, all right, or the existing one. So his father's name is in there. Okay. This is, the full father's name. All right. By the way. Okay. Yahweh. All right. You see that in the imagery in the illustration in the beginning of the 1611. Right. They call it the Tetragrammaton. Right. So. And that's the actual Hebrew, the modern Hebrew, all right, of the father's name. All right, the Paleo Hebrew looks like, well, quickest way to get there is just to go to my page. This is the father's name right here in the Paleo Hebrew. All right, that's Yahweh, and then down here this is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So again, the father's name means the existing one. All right, he exists. All right, and then if you go back, so Yahweh Shai, what does that mean? Well, right here, to save, to be saved, to deliver. All right, to be delivered. All right, to save or to deliver. So, he is the deliverer. All right, the one who delivers. All right, is literally what the son's name means. All right, so the father's name is Yahweh. The son's name is Yahweh Shai. Little lesson within a lesson there for you. So if you're not calling upon those names, all right, and you're calling on God or Jesus Christ or any of these other, no, I'm calling on God and Jesus Christ. No, those are incorrect names. They're not the real Hebrew names. Okay, you can call me Bill. It's not my name. Okay, I'm sure my name goes. If my name was Jim, all right, Jim, name in Spanish. All right. Let's see. Santiago. If you said Santiago, Diego, I wouldn't look back. Why? Because my name would be Jim. All right? So it might be derivative. All right? It might have been a wrong translation of that name, but it doesn't matter. All right? I'm not going to look if you're yelling. If my name's Jim and you're saying, Jamie, Santiago, Diego. All right? No. So, no. I'm not gonna look back. All right? So Lord's not gonna pay attention when you're over here calling on every name, all right, other than what his name is. Okay? And it would piss you off too. If you told someone your name was Larry and you came, hey Jim. The only reason I'm ever gonna look back is to look at you in disgust, because why the fuck are you calling me Jim? I already told you my name was Larry. Right? So, and do you think I'm gonna help you when you keep on, hey Larry, or no, hey Jim? What do you mean? My name's Larry. All right, Jim. No, that's disrespectful. All right, so the Lord is not dealing with that. So if you don't have those names and you're not calling upon those names, then you're against the Lord. All right, Matthew 12:30, cycling back in. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. You're not gathering in the name of Yahweh Shemi Shai. If anything, you'd be gathering in the name of God and Jesus Christ. All right, which is actively against this ministry. All right, go and look up Yahweh Shai, then go and look up Jesus. You're going to see two different people. All right, and that's not exactly what Yahweh Shai looks like. It's just a more accurate depiction. Okay, going off of what we have in Revelation. Right? It's not. He damn sure don't have no blue eyes. All right, or no blonde hair, long hair. He says, "Me and my Father are one," and the Bible talks about how it is a shame for a man to have long hair. So why would he go against his father's will and have long hair? Right? So, well, you say, oh, he's Nazarite. Well, if with the Nazarites, they eventually cut their hair, right? They don't just keep it long for their whole life. They eventually have to shave it all off, eyebrows, everything, right? So, I believe it's eyebrows too. You have to go all the way down, man. So, where's that? when you know, because you have a lot of Jake that do that now. I'm on a Nazarite vow. You've been on a Nazarite vow for the last 35 years you've been born, right? Apparently, right? Before you were in the world, you weren't on the Nazarite vow. Now you're on the Nazarite vow, and you've been in the Nazarite, been on the Nazarite vow for 10 years now. When are you ever gonna cut the hair? That's part of the Nazarite vow, right? Matter of fact, is there a specific time frame? Let me see. After you would complete the vow, yeah, you would complete it, all right, and then you would at the end of the period, the Nazarite would shave their head. The hair was then burned on the altar as part of a series of sacrifices, which of course now we don't really do that. Signify the completion of their vow. When are you going to complete your vow, man? Not that it's none of my business, but we don't think you're on a vow, is what we think. We think you're just saying that so you can keep your hair long, right? But anyway, you do. So that cannot be the son, all right? He doesn't have white woolly hair, okay? It's dirty blonde and long, okay? He doesn't have eyes like a flame of fire, reddish orange. No, he has blue eyes. Okay, he doesn't have feet or skin, because I don't know about you, but my feet are relatively the same color, maybe a little bit lighter than the rest of my skin. So it said his feet like under the bronze that had burnt in a furnace. Okay, so, and mind you, I don't know if you've ever seen Jake. Here's something that's really gonna make you think. I don't know if you've ever seen Jake, but if you look at their feet and the palms of their hands usually are the lightest things on them. So what color is the rest of Yahushai? All right, because the feet are usually the lightest on people, because you gotta see they're not seeing no sun ever, right? So if his feet were that color, it doesn't say the bottom of his feet, but your feet in general are lighter, a little bit lighter. They're not like vastly different, but they're a little bit lighter than the rest of the shade of your body, because they're always in socks or shoes or inside. They're not walking around outside getting a whole bunch of sun on your feet, right? So that means that Yahushua would actually be a little bit darker, right, than what his feet would be. Just a little bit, right? So when you look up Jesus, that's not the depiction you get, all right? Because Jesus, all right, he's got pink red skin, okay? It doesn't look anything like bronze. So, if you're with that, then you're against the Lord, all right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You're against the Father and the Son, all right? You're against the Father and the Son. The Father's name is Yahweh. The Son's name is Yahushai. You can't reach the Father but through the Son, as it says in the Scripture. So you have to say Yahweh Ba'Hashem. Ba'Hashem in the ancient Hebrew means in the name of. So Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. And sometimes you'll hear us say Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, which means in the name of the Spirit Holy. All right? They say Holy Spirit, but Rakakwadash is literally Spirit Holy, but Holy Spirit, right? But that's what it translates to literally, is Spirit Holy. So you know what Jesus translates to? Dirty earth. Dirty earth. Okay? Dirty earth. At one point it was thought it was dirty earth pig, but I guess the apostles recently looked into apostles a great millstone. If you want the truth, that's where you're going to get it from. All right? Not a part of GMS, but that's where I learned from. I'm not a part of them in actual camp, but I'm a part of them in spirit, as in we're all trying to build up the foundation of the house of David. Okay, not the house of Saul, like these other camps that wear purple and so on and so forth. Not going to get into all that, but that's a topic for another day. But the GMS and its affiliates are the only ones that are teaching the truth. Everyone else is giving you their idea of what the ministry is or should be. Okay, so again, they're not really with the Lord either, right? So unless you're doing this rightly, in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and following this according to the Scripture, not going off of men's doctrine, not going off of how you feel, then you are just against the Lord, and the Lord will take you out, and can take you out, will take you out whenever he deems or sees fit. Okay? So it's a ticking time bomb, man, with these guys. So that's why we see a lot of these people getting deaded up. All right, because they've been doing wickedness. They're not following the Lord. And again, if you're not with the Lord, you're against him. And what does he do? Hold up. Let's get Isaiah 1:24. What does he do with his enemies? and his adversaries and people that are not with him, but are actively against him. What does he do? Isaiah 124, therefore saith the Lord, the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. So he's not dealing with it. All right, he's gonna take him out, and this is really referring to Jake, all right, and Israel, all right. So if he's gonna do this with his own people, all right, what do you think he's gonna do to the heathens? You don't want none of it, man. You don't want none of it. So and I gotta get this. We get it every time because it's imperative that this scripture goes out, because a lot of people have the wrong idea about the Lord. They think that he's like Satan's in control or something. Bear with me while I grab a drink. They think that like the Lord has some type of sectional government where it's like, oh, I don't do any of the killing. That's unfortunately that's not my department. I can't do anything about it. Satan snuck in here and took your baby, and I couldn't the Lord's like some type of idiot or something to these guys. All right, that's what they played the Lord off. They make the Lord seem like a fool. All right, and that's a blasphemous thing that they do, and they're not even realizing it when they say, oh, Satan swept in and he took this baby away. So the Lord's some type of fool, a moron, an idiot, right? Here it is. He's omnipotent. He controls everything. He's the Lord, King of Kings, right? He knows everything. But somehow Satan, put a bag over his head or got in a cardboard box and snuck real low. He army crawled over. Got him. Got you, Lord. I got one of your kids. Like the Lord's some type of moron. No, that doesn't work. All right. The Lord, all right, is the one that instructs all things. Does Satan do some of that work? Yes, but he's only a secretary. All right. He's in servitude to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? He can't do anything on his own. He has to be instructed, okay? Hey, Satan, go and get that guy. Hey, Satan, you can go and do this. Hey, take some of your demons with you and take these people out at this crowd. Hey, go ahead and do this. Hey, matter of fact, I'm going to put a spirit of vengeance on this person. All right, go and hop on that person and make them, take out their whole family or something, right? The Lord's the one that does that. And you say, oh, you're making the Lord out to be wicked. You're making him sound evil. Well, he would be evil to you, all right, because you don't have the understanding. But Deuteronomy 32 and 39 explains it all. It says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. There's no God with him, all right? It's just him, okay? He's the power. Him, omnipotent, him. It says, I kill and I make alive. What is that? I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. I kill and I make alive. You heard it, all right? So, and got to get the next one. It says, I wound and I heal. So if you were killed, the Lord did it. If you were made alive, the Lord did it. If you were wounded, the Lord did it. If you were healed, the Lord did it. All right? Not Satan. While Satan might have done the act, who was he instructed by? Okay? That was still the Lord doing it. All right? That was still the Lord doing it. And you don't get that. You think that like these demons are, like Satan's, actively, you think that's what the Christians think. They think Satan's actively opposed against, Yahweh, and they're having some type of battle up in the heavens, and he's down in hell, and the Lord's up in heaven, and he's trying to, keep Satan down there, and Satan's doing this, and they're battling, and no, man. No. Okay? That's not how it works. Okay? So, and also, it really doesn't make sense, because you'll say that type of stuff, and then you'll say, oh, well, if you do that, God's going to send you to hell. Well, why would God send you to a place of one of his enemies? Why would he give someone over? Because it says all spirits return unto the Father, right? We can go and get that. Let's go and get that. To the Father who gave them, all right? That's what the scriptures say. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. So how can he go to hell how can they go to hell? All right, your version of hell, because hell does exist, but that's again why you have to get the original tongue, because hell is talking about a place of punishment. All right, a future place of punishment or judgment, destruction. All right, primarily it's really talking about Babylon when those missiles hit, aka America, right? United States, really specifically. So that's hell. Okay. Or it can also refer to, the state of death, all right? Death, the grave, all right? The state of the grave, all right? He was brought down to hell. He was put to death, right? So, but you don't understand it. You created your own little Dungeons and Dragons world, all right? Your little fucking version of Mordor, all right? And just, came up with whatever you could kind of think, all right? Oh yeah, well, Satan, he's taking these people and killing them, but God doesn't want them to be killed. But even though, God's powerful, but he's apparently not powerful enough to stop Satan from doing these things, because there's like there's clauses, and but also, even though God's against him and they're enemies, they don't like each other. When someone is bad, he does send them to Satan to punish them, even though he loves all people. But he loves everybody, but some people he doesn't love, but he loves them all. He just doesn't want them to be, bad. So if they do mess up, then they do go to hell forever in eternity, and they burn forever. Even though God doesn't want that to happen, it does happen. But even though, it says in Ecclesiastes that all spirits go back to God, they go to hell instead. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're bugged out. Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. The spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. The spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. The spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. The spirit shall return unto you, Yahweh who gave it. Where's it going to go? Hell. It's going to go to Satan? No, it's going to go to Yahweh. Why? Because he was the one he's the father of spirits. They return to him. They don't go to hell or somewhere else or off somewhere. No, Christians, you don't get it. That's why you can't listen to these Christians, okay? So that's why, if you're with these Christians and you're calling on God and Jesus Christ, you're a sinner, you're wicked, and you're an adversary to the Lord, and he's going to put you out, okay? So that's something you need to realize, because a lot of people say, oh, well, he was in the church, he was wicked. He was wicked. Church allows drag queens now. Wicked. All right? Just because you're in your church, it doesn't matter. You go to church and you smoke a cigarette in the parking lot, talking shit about, oh, Betty, yeah, she's a piece of shit, her husband, he's poor, he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, and this and that, and their kid's a little asshole. Oh, hi, Betty, how you doing? Hey, girl. That's what church is. It's a drama and gossip center, and I'm thankful that I never went to that fucking shit. All right, that's what it is. It's shit. You're not even supposed to be going there. Okay? It's not church. They call it church. It's not church. Okay? All right? Church, all right, is when, 2 or more people are gathered in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's church. Okay? You're not supposed to be dwelling in temples made with hands. That's what they do now. You go there. It's just a fucking TED Talk. They barely even use the Bible at all. They say, God is looking out for each and every one of you. And I see him. I see the angels in the room right behind you. And whatever you're looking for, he's going to help you. And he's going to bring it to you soon. Because God is helping each and every one of you, whether you believe it or not. Go ahead and pass the till around. Go ahead and put your money in there. We are not leaving this service until there is $2,000 in that till. Because God. That's church. All right. Where's the scriptures? Nowhere. Where's the money? Right in the pastor's pocket. That's where it's at. All right? That's all it is, man. Go in there and spend money. Okay? Give us your money. And I'll talk to God and maybe he'll bless you. Right? That's what they're doing. They think that they're doing something, right? And that's why those pastors end up getting shot up and killed. There was one right here in Vegas, not too far from, where I stay. All right? In one of the directions that y'all would never know. Right? But got shot up right then and there. Vegas pastor shot up. Got his ass, right? And they'll say, well, he was godly, man. God was just calling him home. No, look, man. No, he was killed, all right? Because what he was doing was wicked. All he was doing was teaching the name of God and Jesus Christ, which is wicked, because that's not the name. Anyway, wanted to put that out there. But people don't, and why I'm pressing on this is because, Proverbs 28:5 says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. They don't get why some of these people are put to death. He was a good guy. He wasn't a good guy. He wasn't a good guy. All right, unless you died of old age or, some, relatively, common health, condition, certain forms of cancer, or you got old, you were old and your heart gave out or something. I mean, you were real fucking old. There's natural ways you can go, but you can tell if it was judgment or not. Getting shot, that is judgment. That's the sword, man. That's the sword, right? That is the sword. So that's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. But yeah, man, you don't get it. You don't understand it. Okay? You don't understand the scripture because, you say, oh, he was innocent. Well, another one. Job 4:7. Got to get it every time. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. They were doing something wicked, and they finally had the reap of their reward. All right, they finally got the harvested their crop. All right, so there's that guy. I don't know how this guy died. I'll have to look at it and see what happened. All right, but we'll have to figure it out because I have no idea. All right, and it could be judgment, could not be judgment. Let's see.
Everybody's always say, oh, why you moved to Charlotte, North Carolina? Because I heard the Queen City needed a king. The Queen City needed a king.
TikTok
Pride.
star Malik Taylor has died. He was 28 years old. It's unclear how Malik died. He was a member of Alpha Kappa Psi fraternity who shared the news of his death on Facebook, remembering Malik as a light to everyone.
Past weekend, I was invited by TikTok for their Black TikTok event here in Atlanta. Event was here at the Trap Music Museum.
I don't know if he was, but I'm hearing sugar in that tank. I don't know if you're hearing it too. I hear a little bit too much of a little bit of that lisp. I don't know.
And it was such a vibe. Had such an amazing time.
Yeah, it sounded a little fruity to me.
Malik was best known for his TikToks, which featured commentary on pop culture news and entertainment opinions, which he shared with his more than 200,000 followers.
Unpopular opinions on Euphoria, just because I'm so excited it's coming back on tonight.
Yeah,
I
he's a fruit.
I really want them two to be together.
This guy, if he didn't self-proclaim it, he's a fruit. He was a fruit. There's no way.
But I don't.
He's now being remembered as someone who was always bringing laughter, joy, and a warm smile that brightened every room he entered.
Mirth. It's all right to do those things once in a while. All right, go out and party, but mirth. Let's see. He was in a car accident. So there you go. Damn, a lot of TikTok content makers and influencers have been dying as of late. There you go. Yes, the deaths are unusual and they're dropping off like flies. It's obvious. What's obvious? Okay, I've noticed a number of them have been murdered. That's a sword. Oh yeah, there's that. Can't forget that. The guys in Vegas. All right, the guys in Vegas. All right, so they got shot up right here, right in front of the Bellagio fountains, man. So I've been to those fountains plenty of times, man, living here. So right in front of the fountains, man. And if you've ever never been to the Bellagio fountains, they call it the fountain, but it's really a series of multiple fountains. I mean, I guess it's just one, but they do these dances and stuff, right? They, and they usually have it going to like some Michael Jackson beat or something like that. It's pretty fun if you're down there walking around. We don't go down there a lot because locals usually don't spend a whole bunch of time, but I usually go down there if like I'm doing some photography, like street photography or something like that, or just wanting to get out of the house on time. It's very, very rare because it's just nothing but a bunch of folly down there, but it's nice looking down there. So every once in a while, we go down there. Very rare, but it is nice looking. But the people down there are just wild. But anyway, I'm trying to find. So I'll try to point it out on this other end here. All right, all the way around, you can kind of see it. There's these little dip-offs. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so there's these little dips off like this. All right, and you can stand in front of it, right? And he got gunned down right on one of these. All right, right in front of one of these, and I'm trying to find one. I'm trying to find a... This is about as good as we can get. I have a video somewhere on my phone that I could show you, but these are usually very, very packed. All right. And that's where they were. They were basically right in front of these little things. All right, right over here. That's the Paris sign. But that guy Manny or whatever, pop, 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 right there, right in front of the fountains. And I wanted to try to show you how packed those things usually are. I guess maybe not so much at this night, but yeah, those things are usually very packed. Our you know, tourism's going down here because of, you know, the tariffs and all the price of living now, which, you know, unfortunately, it's good, but it's also bad. You can see how busy it usually gets right here. It's usually busier than that, but it's good and it's bad living in Vegas because a lot of our economy is based off of you know, gambling and tourism. So when it goes down, you can feel it here, right? Prices start going up on everything. So, but anyway, what is this? Damn. Horrible TikTok husband that infected wife after she found out about his gay affair with HIV. There you go. But yeah, man, so you see it dying in all sorts of ways. So sad, but with what's going on what's going on with all these TikTok, every week someone dead. All right? They're just people at the end of the day. That's because the Lord is taking them out. The Lord is taking these people out, and they're seeing it. There's a lot of influencers are being taken out, man. They're being taken out. Here's another one. Bop. All right. Now this guy died of a heart attack. All right.
I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect medium rare chicken sandwich.
Medium rare chicken sandwich. A medium rare chicken. That's a death sandwich. You're trying to kill people. You're trying to give people some of the malevolence. Trying to give people some of the malevolence. Some of the malevolence.
John Crawley, known as King Beard X on TikTok,
Guy's just brain rot. All right, brain rot. But I guess he had a heart attack. But this guy
has died. He was only 47 years old.
I'm gonna say that this person's from the pits of hell. You is evil to your bones, and I don't want to be a friend.
John, who lived in Mississippi, had nearly 3.5 million followers on social media and racked up millions more views on his videos, reacting to mostly food and recipe content. His most viral moment?
Who's buying this?
That would be my big fat ass. That tastes good. I don't give a damn what nobody said. That's yummy. That's yummy hot dogs.
According to reports, John died Monday after a 2-week hospital stay. He was admitted after experiencing breathing struggles. The ultimate cause of death? Cardiac arrest.
heart attack. See, that shit fucking kill you, man. Eating that shit, it'll fucking kill you.
Friends and family say John didn't have health insurance, and he was the primary breadwinner for his family, including his mom. They're currently raising money online to fund his funeral.
Oh my God, who's gonna eat a brownie that big?
Don't be my big fat ass. Look here, young man. I think that'd be my big fat ass.
There you go. So, and the guy, the guy seemed like a nice guy, right? But the fact of the matter, well, again, this guy is probably an Edomite, all right? Well, the fact of the matter is, it's not about how you were to other people. It's how, look, it's the Lord's opinion that matters. I might be the nicest person ever to someone, right? If I was to go, people like my wife would be like, oh, well, she's in this truth. She would either realize it was just my time to go and I died righteously, or I went, because I was doing something judgment, right? If I got shot up, she'd know, all right. The Lord didn't like him for some reason, right? Wanted him out. Must have been a 2/3, right? And she says, we made comments, oh, you go over there to die. She'd be like, if that was the case, we'd just be 2/3 if we died, just randomly like that, right? And it's true. If you get shot up like that, you don't know you're 2/3 before, you'll know it after. Well, you won't, but everybody else will. All right, because that's the sword. That is the sword, man. Only the wicked die by the sword like that. So unless you were martyred, all right? Because if you were teaching the truth and someone came up and shot you, all right, that's a little bit different. All right? If you were saying something about Yahweh Shem Yahushai and someone stabbed you to death, that's a little bit different, okay? That's a little bit different. So, yeah, man, these social media people, man, are getting deaded up. They're getting deaded up, and that's why you got to repent, man. You got to repent. Got to do it. You got to do it. Let's get a couple more scriptures. Slacky, let me grab my my notes here. Get a couple judgment scriptures, then we'll close out. Where are we at here? Here we are. I'm thinking. Do I want to get that? No. Let me. All right. Get Psalms 9 and 16. Gotta get it. Gotta get the classics. All right. That's what, these judgment reports usually get the same scriptures because it's the same scriptures about judgment. All right. And it tells you what to do and what not to do. All right. Psalms 9 and 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Not the righteous. The wicked. And just because someone seems right to me doesn't mean they're right to the Lord. Okay? You got to realize there's some, ex-brothers out there. Think about like the Boston reprobates. Okay? That separated from the GMS Boston camp. Okay? They got, kicked out. At one point, they might have seemed like right people. All right? And they got pushed out from this truth. Now that wasn't judgment as far as death goes, but they got a judgment as they could not be around anymore, and the Lord spat them out. So they would seem like normal, righteous people to some. Okay? Now, from what I heard, a lot of people knew there was something a little funky going on with them. But there's people that'll fall out that, at one point were, normal, were in the truth, probably thought, oh, this is a right guy. I mean, look at Bishop Nathaniel, right? Now, he's still, quote unquote, in a version of the truth, right? But he fell out from the right way and did a lot of wicked stuff, man, with kicking King David out the house, all right, out the school, all right, King Masha, all right. So what do we want to get else? Get Isaiah 45 and 7 because it fits. So Isaiah 45 and 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So, hey, man, now's not the time. Now's the time to be doing what's right, okay? And because if you don't, it's going to be your ass, man. So let's get Revelation 22 and 11 through 12. You want to keep doing what you're doing, keep doing it, all right? And we'll keep doing what we're doing, Lord willing. So, Revelation 22 and 11 through 12. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Verse 12, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So if you were doing wickedness, you're gonna get wickedness. If you're doing good, you're gonna get good. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. And it's not good unto you. It's not what's good unto someone else. It's what's good and acceptable unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Okay. So a lot of these social media influencers, man, they're getting deaded up. All right, the Lord doesn't want them anymore. Okay. So that's the lesson. We're gonna go and close out there. Lord, what was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you Akwanakwat out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith, repent while you still can. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.